Alright guys, there's something I need to tell you all. So I want you guys to pay good attention to this video. See, let me tell you something. There comes a time in one's life, when your success speaks louder than the lies of your enemies. You need to know this. And today, we are once again reminded that beautiful Queen May Yul Edochie's rising star is blinding the very people who once thought that she would crumble in silence. Truth be told, from bitter online warriors who call themselves Judy Austin's warrior, or whom Judy Austin calls them my warriors, Judy's warrior, to so-called people, analysts, and even a disbarred lawyer grasping for relevance. You all should know that Emeka Ugwuonye is just a disbarred lawyer grasping for relevance. If I say disbarred lawyer, just know that I am referring to Emeka Ugwuonye. Their tongue can no longer hide the jealousy that burns within them. Trust me, instead of celebrating a woman who turned her pain into purpose, they are trying to twist her victory into selfishness. This is what they are trying to do. Instead of applauding her strength, they are trying to mock her focus, and instead of acknowledging her grace, they accuse her of being selfish, self-centered. This is what they are trying to do, but God passed them. But the truth is simple, guys. When success becomes undeniable, envy becomes louder. That is it. Envy instantly becomes louder. Now let's get straight to the point. This same Emeka Ugwuonye, or whether waiting in the column again, a disbarred lawyer whose name is now rings with disgrace, has suddenly crowned himself the moral judge of May Yul Edochie. He came out to say, "Oh, May Yul Edochie is not fighting for women's liberation. She is only focused on herself, her divorce, and her brand." He said a lot of things, of which I did not want to really read it out, but let me show you guys for better understanding of this particular video. He made a post few hours ago rather, and he said something. He said the truth about May Yul Edochie's case. When the case of Yul Edochie and May Yul Edochie emerged, we saw it as an opportunity to champion the rights of women. That is why women from all over the world came together to support May. They recognized a chance to advocate for women's liberation, prevent abuse, and promote equal rights between man and woman. This collective effort was rooted in the ideal of empowerment and advocacy. However, the fight did not unfold as some persons had hoped. The case did not become the cause celebre that many expected. We attempted to turn a divorce case into a rallying point for the women's movement. Yet, May, the principal party, does not perceive it in the same light as many others do. She views her situation in two ways: obtaining a divorce and leveraging her large followers for business promotion. She does not see this as a platform for liberating women. She is focused on her own interests. This is what he is trying to say. He now further said that, now don't understand me. There is nothing wrong with May viewing her case through personal lens, as many people do. Her primary focus is herself, which is perfectly valid. Unfortunately, this project has shifted from a significant movement to a straightforward divorce case. If that is how it stands, then so be it. In terms of mindset and worldview, there is little distinction between May, Queen Yul Edochie, and Judy Austin. They perceive the world similarly, and only difference is that May is positioned as the victim in this scenario. If you pay close attention, you will notice that there has been no indication that May Yul Edochie is fighting for a broader cause of women. It is perfectly reasonable for a woman in a divorce case to advocate for her right. However, if one intends to elevate the case into a global movement, it is essential to ensure that the parties involved share the interests. May's overseas trip to public appearance are clearly centered on promoting her products and brand, and not on advocating for women's rights. I am certain that the women who joined from Kenya, South Africa, Ghana, Jamaica, and everywhere else are not genuinely interested in beauty products. They are drawn to her case as a supposed movement for women's rights. This is the disconnect. Regrettably, the decision the discussion about this case, people often allow their emotion to overwhelm their reasoning. It is clear to see this pattern. Again, May has the same right as any other woman in her divorce case to seek justice in family courts. She also has the right to sell her products and build her brand. Yet, a global movement of women's rights is distinctly different, and I have not witnessed it in this case. It was merely a dream that did not materialize. However, focusing on Judy Austin is a mistake in the context of women's rights. It is the man who should take responsibility for leaving his wife, not the woman who unjustly blamed for stealing him. This focus on Judy Austin reflects the mindset of the aggrieved wife rather than the perspective of those truly concerned with women's rights. If you care about women's rights, you should question whether Yul Edochie did not take undue advantage of Judy Austin as well. This is what this man is trying to say. He's trying to twist the story, but we are here to make it clear to him. This is what he said. He said that May Yul Edochie, May Yul Edochie is not fighting for women's liberation. She is only focused on herself, her divorce, and the brand. What is she supposed to focus on? Now listen carefully. Well, let's clap for you, sir. You are trying, because finally your jealousy has spoken louder than your sense. Honestly, this is a clear evidence that Emeka Ugwuonye's jealousy has spoken clearly louder than his sense rather. Now tell me, what is wrong with a woman choosing to fight her own battle first before carrying the world's burden on her shoulder? What is wrong there? What is wrong with a woman using her pain to build an empire rather than drowning in pity? What is wrong with a woman who was betrayed, insulted, mocked, and abandoned, turning her tears into foundation that helped other women? If that is self-centeredness, then may God give every broken woman in this world the strength to be self-centered like Queen May Yul Edochie. Honestly speaking, that is the bitter truth. Because let's face it, this attack is not about principle. It's about envy. They cannot understand how a woman who was written off, betrayed, mocked, and they even declared her finished, is now touring the world, commanding respect, building brands, and gaining global recognition. Meanwhile, Yul Edochie is there, doing it locally. And so they call her selfish. They call her self-centered. But what they are really saying is her success is too much for us to swallow. That is it. That is their main thing. Forget all this going through the corners. May Yul Edochie's success is too big for them to swallow. My people, does May Yul Edochie need to carry placard on the streets before you know that she is fighting for women? Is she not fighting by living out the example that every woman deserves respect, deserves dignity, and deserves to rise again, no matter the betrayal? This is the truth they will never admit. May's silence has become too loud for them to ignore. Her glow is too bright for their light to cover. Her success is too strong for their gossip to bring down. And so Emeka Ugwuonye sits down, weaving grammar upon grammar, not to inform you, but to reduce her story, to paint her victory as vanity. This is what Emeka was trying to do. Paint May Yul Edochie. He will sit down, open dictionary, brought out grammar upon grammar to speak and confuse those that he is confusing. People like us. Just let me remind him, a queen does not need to explain her crown. A queen does not beg for validation from felt men whose voice are louder than her relevance, their relevance. A queen does not ask for permission to shine. A Queen May Yul Edochie is not just divorced. She is not just a victim. She is not just a name in the controversy. She is a brand. She's a foundation. She's an empire in motion. She's a woman who turned betrayal into brilliance. And whether they like it or not, her story has already liberated thousands of women, because every single time she rises, every woman across the world rise with her. So to those who call her self-centered, listen carefully. May Edochie is not self-centered. May Edochie is May is God-centered, it's not self-centered, and that is why your attack will never prevail, because when God fights for you, no court, no rumor, no disbarred lawyer like Emeka Ugwuonye, and no online miscreants can pull you down. None of them can pull you down. Queen May Yul Edochie is a testimony that when God lifts you, even your enemies become unpaid advertiser of your own success. So let them keep talking. While they talk, she rise. While they gossip, she builds. While they mock, she shine. At the end, her success will be the answer to every tongue that raised against her, and that is it. That is just the bitter truth. Guys, what thing una think on top this matter? Make una drop una comment on the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel anyway. Drop your comment on the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on your notification bell so that you won't miss my next gist concerning the Edochie family. See you guys in my next video.